Hello F11 members and welcome to the post-production video tutorials for issue 75, April 2018. So I've had a message from an F11 member asking for a little bit of clarity, a bit more clarity on the use of the clarity tool in Lightroom. So let's work through this picture on the screen in front of you, which I shot in Bogota last month in Colombia, a night shot, and it's a pretty simple image to do the post-production on, but we're really going to analyze what the clarity slider does, what its attraction is and what its pitfalls are, and then I'm going to look at a portrait image as well and continue to evaluate just what the clarity slider does. Okay, so let's get stuck in, and the image has been imported and captioned. So I go into my develop module here and look at the image. First thing I'm going to do is crop it because I've got a bit of dead space here in foreground which really doesn't benefit the image at all. I think it would be a quite successful image at the 16:9 format, so I'm going to select that. And now I can just fine-tune by moving up and down the crop on that, and I think that's good. There's a fair bit of rubbish here in the foreground which I'm going to rely on Wendy to take out in Photoshop. Rubbish left in the Plaza Boulevard. This purple blob here, by the way, is Wendy, giving me a figure just in the right place in the frame. So the next thing I want to do is look at the histogram. I can see I'm clipping. Can you see the red up there on the histogram display? If I hold my cursor over it, it shows me where I'm clipping highlights, and predictably enough, it's in the brightest lights. Now, we don't really need to see detail in those bright lights, but I'm going to bring the highlights back just a touch. So if I now just slide those back, and it's a subjective call, easy to go too far, what I can do is just click on the actual number beside the highlight slider and then use the up and the down key on my keyboard to actually fine tune that. So I'm going to put in about 25 of highlight recovery there. And as you can see now, that's just brought those highlights back, tamed those highlights. Okay, good. My black point is perfect. I can tell that by looking at the histogram up here, so there's no tweaking of that I need to do. I think I'm just going to bring back the darkness in the image there, give it a bit more depth to about there. That looks about right to me. And really, this picture doesn't need much more doing to it at all. Now let's just come back to this area of the develop module called presence, clarity, vibrance and saturation. And as you can see, I've put a teaspoonful of vibrance in. I do that to all my pictures on import, not to say that that's the value I always use. I then can fine tune it to suit. And of course, this picture has got some really nice rich colors in it already. I don't think I would want to put much more in there. I could just experiment with maybe a touch more, but it's very, very easy to go over the top here. I'm just going to go with +8 on my vibrance there. I think that's a nice balance. Now over here we have a Lightroom preset called Punch. Now if I click on that, can you see what it does? It introduces on the vibrant slider +25, and it's put in a whopping great +30 of clarity. And I have to say, I think it's horrible. Let's just take it back out again, go to where I started, and can you see the difference? First of all, it boosts the colors, unnaturally so. Secondly, it adds what it calls clarity. And what we're doing today is just assessing what that clarity is. Okay, let's come back out and come to the clarity slider. Now what it does in essence is boost local mid-tone contrast. That's the theory. What does it actually mean? Now, if I move the clarity slider to the right here, you can see it starts adding contrast. The image gets very, how can I describe this? Your eyes will tell you better than my words can. Edgy. If you go way too far, can you see it really looks quite strange? If you're understanding what the clarity slider does, it's actually easier to look at it going the other way, taking clarity out of the picture. And if we give minus clarity, it starts spreading highlights and lowering contrast. It almost looks like those diffusion filters we used, or wedding photographers used back in the 80s. Now, I've looked on the internet and been reading quite a bit about the clarity slider, and there are many out there who expand its use and extol its virtues and recommend using it virtually all the time. I have to say I disagree, but essentially this is a subjective call. Now, if I just go in on my magnification, let's go in quite tight on this picture. So I go the other way, 4:1. Let's come in here and look at this. Here's Simon Bolivar standing there. And what we're going to do is look at what the clarity slider does in detail. Move it to the right, and can you see it starts in boosting contrast. I'm also seeing quite a bit more noise coming through there in the even tones. Even at plus 30, I can see more noise there, and I can see more contrast here in the subject of the statue. Now, some people like that. I'm not so sure. Come the other way, and you can see it basically softens the image, but actually there's absolutely no noise there visible in the even tones at all. Come back to naught, and I can see a little bit of noise. That's because I'm in a massive magnification, and I shot this at ISO 400, so that noise really is nothing to worry about it, because I'm looking at it very highly magnified. But nevertheless, I think my point is that the clarity slider certainly does boost noise. Let's just move this over here and look at this kind of area of the image, the church tower, tower on the cathedral. Now, if I put clarity in here, can you see what it's doing? It's putting, can you see along this edge here? It's essentially what the clarity slider does is very similar, in fact exactly similar to the sharpening tool, but over a wider radius. But you can see around this statue on the top there, it's really putting a definite edge in there, and it's starting to look really quite horrible, quite frankly. And I think what I want to say to you about this clarity slider is that at normal magnifications, you can look at the picture and you put a touch of clarity in, and you can say, yes, it seems to boost the detail. But I would say that really, if you've got good contrast in the picture to start with, then you don't need to use it. Again, you may disagree, and ultimately it's a subjective call, but that's my opinion. So let's now just pause and look at a portrait image and continue the same evaluation. So here, excuse me, here on the screen we have a picture of a portrait that I shot a couple of days later in the town of Villa de Leyva in Colombia. And this is a picture I've selected. So let's go into the develop module here. Wrong image, just give me 1 second. Here we have the correct image. And the post-production on this is basically I've boosted my shadows a touch and adjusted my white point, and not much else, in fact hardly anything else to the image. Simple post-production. Really done nothing to it at all. Now, okay, let's look here at what we do, what in terms of sharpening would do to this picture. at normal magnification first, not sharpening, sorry, clarity. So with the clarity slider, if I start putting in clarity, can you see immediately this edge here, this out of focus edge starts becoming much more defined. Can you see there starts to become almost a line around it? And we introduce this kind of contrast and go, up quite high, and you can see it's a certain look that you might like. All I would say is be very aware of what you're doing and make a judgment call. Go the other way. There's something to be said with portraits about taking a touch of clarity out, I think, sometimes. I would say it depends on your subject. Certainly I know beauty photographers would often take a little bit of clarity out. My attitude is do nothing. Let's just come in here and look again at large, pretty gruesome magnification, almost way too much actually. Just zoom out a touch here, zoom out to 2:1 actually, so we can see what clarity is doing again. Now you can say it actually has the effect of boosting the impression of detail there, but at the expense of that gritty contrast, which I find so ugly. Now I would accept that there are situations, particularly if you've got an architectural shoot maybe with brickwork around, where a bit of clarity can aid the picture, and certainly working in black and white. But with this kind of image, I don't think so. I just want to finish this morning's discussion on the use of the clarity slider with just the observation that I was doing assessments for the Royal Photographic Society last week. So as usual, some brilliant pictures totally ruined by over-the-top post-production. Certain common faults were coming through time and time and time again, and they were over-sharpened images with too much clarity. Now, because the sharpening tool in Lightroom, not in Lightroom, but in any post-production software, and the clarity slider essentially do the same thing, it's difficult to determine often when you're just looking at a print on a wall whether it's the sharpening or the clarity slider at fault. What I would say is beware. You can ruin your picture very easily by using too much clarity. Okay, I would urge you to do your own evaluations and tests on that. But as always, I would say, if in doubt, do nothing. Okay, so this post-production video tutorial was all as a result of a request. We positively welcome your requests for the topics on these videos. It really helps us enormously. So please feel free to send in your suggestions. Okay, thank you, and I'll be back in part 2.